is I'm sorry, I know this is old news, but is nobody gonna bring up the fact of Kanye West on Alex Jones' show where you can't see his face? You don't see an ounce of flesh. You don't see skin. You don't see... He's covered up completely. That doesn't seem strange to anybody? That he's covered up completely? You don't see any skin anywhere? And he's gonna sit on a podcast, on a show, and say that he loves Hitler. And then when Alex Jones is like, well, I'm sure you don't mean, you like the aesthetic of the Nazis. He's like, no, I love Hitler. And you don't see his face, and he's wearing a weird mask where it zips up around the eyes. Now, you could argue. You could argue that, oh, he's been wearing weird masks for a long time. That still doesn't change how convenient this is, okay? That So picture this. What if this, picture this theory that I have of they had this planned all along. So what they do is they get some foreign French or European fashion designer to be like, hey, look, why don't you wear these new masks and get him into designing his own masks and face coverings. And since, he already had the Yeezys, the shoes that look like Cronenberg, Bernie Wrights, and what's that guy's name from the artist who did the design of the movie Alien. What's Sigourney Weaver? That I forget his name, but he did like this weird alien. I think they had a game recently where it's like the machine or something hooks up to you and breeds you, and then it's like half alien, half human DNA. I don't know, but anyways, what was my point again? Oh yeah, the weird looking Yeezy shoes. So he's already on that bandwagon, but he doesn't know the intention of why they're wanting him to wear these masks, so that later on when they get whoever, and might I add, I taught music for a long time, specifically guitar. My father, being a teacher for many years, teaching at colleges and doing seminars at big places. Sometimes it was held in like churches because but like music theory and guitar. So my specialty was I could learn how to play a song. And by song, I mean like advanced jazz fusion music. Layered music. So not only was it harmonized, but layered. So one specific person would use what's called double stops, and it's two notes together that make a chord, but harmonizing that at the same time in playing a different chord on top of those. So I became very good because I did it a lot. I figured out songs. It was fun to me because I wanted to learn the songs and then I could play them. I was working on transposing what's his name? Paganini. I think one of his first Capri. I was like tabbing out the guitar for how to play that, and there were some weird fingerings for the arpeggios, and so anyways, there's a long way around to say that my ear is trained very well. I can hear the slightest changes in the frequency of a note. So listening to Kanye West on Alex Jones' show, there was a strange effect to his voice. There was a frequency that's very easily it can go undetectable to somebody who's not used to listening to people speak through a microphone. Go listen to that interview and listen when Alex Jones talks. And I believe was there somebody else there? No, I think it was just him. Listen when Alex Jones talks, and then listen when Kanye West talks. And what I heard was synonymous with a program that you can use. They had a program a long time ago where they had different celebrities' voices, like in a database, and you could just pick one and then type whatever you want. It was like the GPT chat bot thing where you can write an essay. So you type out what you want it to say, and then in like this celebrity's voice, like Morgan Freeman, you could have Morgan Freeman say horrific things, or like funny things, and do like a reenactment of the Sticky McBooger balls or whatever it was from South Park. How they had Morgan Freeman read that just completely ridiculous book that the kids had written. So when I heard that frequency change, that odd little, such minuscule, like just, it was such at a low level that it's very hard to detect. But listen to that. Listen, there's an effect. There's a weird, like, almost like a digital or like some sort of distortion, a frequency distortion that was a giveaway to me that, oh, this is not Kanye West. So the mask, and then listening to the voice. So just check it out. Check it out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go listen. Put two and two together and be like, I'd say, if you were to if you were to like come up with a scheme to alienate someone and essentially turn them into an Alex Jones, someone who, has been sued, unpersoned, as they say, to where he cannot even use banks. He doesn't have a credit card, can't get a credit card. Essentially taking away his ability to purchase anything. So this would be a sloppy way of doing it, but apparently it works either way. So it's very sketch. But my fiance was saying, what if his clone wasn't like, fully formed yet? What if it was in like the stage of being developed? Which that's pretty good. Could be. I don't know, but it's just, I don't know what to say. I'm just, and nobody's talking about this. I haven't heard any, although I haven't been looking for any conspiracy theory videos about this, but I'm just amazed that nobody's like, hey, what's he doing saying I love Hitler wearing a mask with weird zip eye holes and mouth zip area, some weird, modern version of a gimp mask. Like, what nobody's going to question this. Everybody's just going to be like, wow, Kanye West is messed up. Nobody's going to even be like, what? Wait. Let's just take a step back for a second and just ask ourselves, is there anything wrong with this picture? I feel like too many people just don't just stop, take a second and think about this. Just like do this in your life where you just logically think about things and see if it adds up. Or don't, because it could turn into a bad, like you start to become like Jim Carrey in that movie where, what was it? He's like the number 32 or something like that, and everything in his life equals up to 32 or something, or all life or all his, something, the universe is 32. But just, some people just, they ignore things, and I just found it very weird. I just found that, like, it was almost like Rick and Morty's alternate universe cable, like a thing you'd see when they're flipping through the channels of the multiverse cable networks. You'd see Kanye West saying he loves Hitler. And then after the text messages from his trainer, that it just seems, I'm like, it's too much. And nobody's putting anything together because, I guess, does it take too much time and effort to think, like, I don't know. I feel like the word conspiracy theory has gotten a bad rap because it's like either all conspiracy theories are fake or all of them are real, and I don't understand why it has to be that way. I guess, some people could be, well, some of them seem, logical if you think about it, like when it involves, people banding together to plot against something like JFK, the whole stuff about that. And if I'm sounding a little stupid right now, it's 12:55. So I'd also like to, I saw a YouTube short recently of this guy who took a trip to, what was it, England? Or was it Ireland? I feel like my whole life is just paraphrasing things that I've seen, and I don't remember. Dang, it was some European country. I don't know, France? I don't know, but the guy said as soon as he came off the plane, there was a hotel not too far from the airport. He said it was like a porta potty smell just in the streets, just enveloping, like where I live. I remember when my grandparents on my mother's side came down to visit us. It was, we were living near a DMV, and it was out in the country, and you just smelled fresh manure. Just that's first thing you smelled when coming into the from the border of one town to this one. You just, because they were, there are farms nearby, and it was pretty close to a farmer's market too, so all you smelled was that. So I'm thinking, so this was, he was explaining it like that, like you could smell it in the air, very strong. And he said they were cleaning the streets, and that reminded me of I used to work at this place, Log Cabin Barbecue. It was probably the funnest place that I've ever worked in my life. I feel bad for the owner. Cole was his name, and by feel bad, I mean he had to deal with a lot of kids that worked there. We were all like, at the time, I'm trying to think, was I 25? I was in my 20s. I don't know. So I felt bad for him because he had to deal with a lot of crap from, hiring kids. Some of them would be responsible. Some of them were just, I don't know. Some of them were a mess, but there was this there's this one guy, Danish was his name. I'll never forget him. We developed like kind of like we weren't like friends, but we were like coworker friends. It started out he and other people would like give me crap, and I'd be cool with it, and I'd be laughing along with them, and because I was used to trash talking, because I growing up in a mixed race ghetto kind of neighborhood playing basketball, there's a lot of trash talk that goes on, so you get thick skin from that. So they thought it was cool that I was cool about it and wasn't all like ticked off and like, those are fighting words and stuff, even if people were making fun of me for whatever reason. For like, just, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm tired. But he was, it was almost like it was a diner, kind of diner feel. People would come in to eat. It wasn't like a restaurant where, like a serious restaurant. It was more like a diner feel. It was more, we did mostly catering, large events, and so that's where we made most of our sales from. And so people who would come in, whenever Danish was fixing people's meals and stuff, and it was done in the back, kind of like buffet style. We'd have heating tables, but the kind that had like water in them, and then you'd stick these dish pans, like, I'm not good at describing things, but it had water, and so the water would be heated, and it would keep the food hot in these deep dish type pans. So he'd be back there, and I'd be the one at the register, or like getting people's orders. And they didn't like back in the day, the diners, you'd write it down on the tickets, and you'd rip these tickets off and hand it to the guy. And Denise is like, and we would have people who sat in, or like you take it to go. And if there was a woman that gave me an issue or something, or like just people having an attitude, and like, I don't want this done a certain way, I want the meal, the barbecue to be like this, or very specific, he'd take the ticket and be like, make sure to tell that woman to suck a dick. And I would be holding in my laughter so much, and that was his favorite saying, to suck a D. I feel like me describing it is not like it, picture this like half Egyptian, half was he Arabic or I think I'm pretty sure he's half Arabian, half Egyptian, something. I don't know. You know, he was a brown person, but just it was hilarious. It was hilarious every time he'd just talk crap about everybody that comes in. And some of the times he did not care. He'd be really loud to where the people could hear him, and then he'd just be looking at the people. He had like this bro type attitude, like I don't know. Because I get very the college town that I live in, JMU. So he had very down here we would say very JMU vibes. So yeah, that was funny. Anybody else getting weird ads like on their YouTube and Snapchat? And I got this one, you know, it was a dating site, but it wasn't a normal dating ad. It's showing some pregnant woman, a young pregnant woman, and when I say young, I mean like 30s, late 20s, early 30s. Pregnant woman in cut-off jean shorts. Okay? Did not entice me. It confused me. It confounded me. I'm like, what indication to their ad algorithm? Ooh. And their ad algorithm made them think, yeah, this'll get them. Dating website, all pregnant women. Yep. Maybe it's not bad sexually, but we are not going to go into that. It's just a little weird. Gasoline in the shape of a bullet, and you just whoop that on in there. One of the worst times I've had hemorrhoids. One of the worst times I've had hemorrhoids is when it was one of my days off. It felt like I was backed up, but there was literally no space for the poo-poo to come out. So I was sitting on the toilet. My diddy got me a big bag of prunes. Now these bags of prunes are pretty good because they were individually wrapped. It wasn't just a big bag of just like, you know how you get raisins and the whole box is like kind of sticky and weird textured. It's just wrong. Well, this is different, you know. They're individually wrapped, so it's perfect. So I'm sitting there eating them. So what it does is if you have these, it's not necessarily a better choice, but at least it gets things going. So it'll break everything down into liquid form, and they do have Preparation H brand suppositories, not a sponsor, but they should be. Hey, I'd like to sponsor Preparation H bum bullets, as I like to call them. And another thing I'd like to say, prawn or PORN, the naughty pictures, as I like to call them, and not pictures as in an image. I just mean a picture as in movie or film of some sort. Mostly digital, but you occasionally get the old VHS. But there's some of those are you just question what's going on in the minds of people. What's going on? There's storylines, and there's particular places you can look at, just if you don't want to indulge in the visuals. You can look up the storylines to some of these. One of these really just, you can't be aroused watching this. If you are, there's something wrong with you. There's really something wrong with you. But there's this one guy, I don't know if he's Filipino, he's ugly as sin, but dark-skinned, like possibly Indonesian, I don't know. Whatever. But there's this older woman, not older, like probably 40s. Mid to late 40s maybe. I don't know. Early 40s maybe. I don't know. And for whatever reason, this woman is taking advantage of and this guy is pretending to be to have cerebral palsy. I'm not making this up. I'm gonna try to find the link and just I don't necessarily know if I can put that on a YouTube description, but I'll definitely have it on the OnlyFans. But just I don't know if I'm going to link that. Just look it up for yourself, you filthy perverts. But it's not right. Number one, people like Sean Penn and Dustin Hoffman and I can't think of any of the other people, but doing movies where there's a purpose for them, and when they do it, it's not just like they're doing a type of person that's functional. I've never this was like on the level of what's that movie with Ben Stiller? Tropical Thunder, where Ben Stiller pretends to be the mentally challenged guy. This is on another level of that. This is like full blown just making fun of a person with cerebral palsy, which I'm just like, it's a word I was looking for. That's a way to reserve a ticket to hell, right there. You don't change your ways. It was disgusting. And then the woman is taking advantage of him, and the guys there I'm like, I don't even know, what type of person would agree to this and just be like, yeah, this is funny. Like, what? That's a clear sign. Hey, there's obviously that person is doing a lot more detestable stuff other than making fun of somebody with cerebral palsy. It was just, he was horrific, to be honest. So whatever country made that, it was some kind of Spanish speaking everybody. But whatever country that came out of, if it was America, then whatever. But there was too many Spanish speaking people there. So it had to be foreign. I hope it was foreign. Good gosh. But them and the Japanese have just, they don't, I just, but the probably the best storyline that I've heard for those type of videos was what was it called? I think it was called The Turning, where it was these lesbians, but they were witches, and they would cast a spell or use divination to tempt and like get them to give in to their temptations to, go lesbian. And once they did that, they were like possessed with a demon of lesbianism. So, and it was The Turning, and so it was kind of like a vampire movie, but just instead of it being a vampire, it was a lesbian, and not the run of the mill, like you go to San Francisco and you see the fantasy type of, hey, I just happen to be a model, hand-picked seemingly to be like this, everyone in our film. So that's another one that the storyline, it was, you gotta look up adult video storylines and just read those, because some of them it's just like, why? And then it makes me think I want to create a new type of PORN where people, same scenarios that would be in a normal adult entertainment, but when it comes time to, they just stare at each other. And not in a sensual way, not in a romantic way, just a deadpan, just natural face for at least 15 to 25 minutes of just staring. Wide shots, close up, cuts from one person to the other, just staring. I think I'm going to do some of that and try to see how that goes with selling it on OnlyFans. Yeah, I think I have a thought about prescription medication, because I talked to somebody who's on certain medications for anxiety and depression, and they said it can cause like nightmares or weird dreams. But I don't know, I've talked to other people that have been on the similar stuff, but they don't have any of those dreams. just like out of the blue, like they've been taking stuff for years, and then I don't know. In some ways, I think the natives and people that brought us, like from everybody from the Egyptians to the Mayans, Aztecs, whatever, ancient Jews, and what's those people called? With the rune stones, pagan rune stone people, druids, the druid priests. Their medicine men and their alchemy. So I wonder sometimes if these drugs, certain drugs, can be opening your mind up to being, sensitive to having visions and connecting with a deity or a spirit or a demon or some kind of force. I feel like every time I go online, it's another reminder that, as if I don't have just everyday reminders of mortality, and probably others. You hear about friends that are dying. You hear about coworkers whose family members are dying, whether of natural causes or from overdosing or suicide. It just kind of gets overwhelming, and I guess I don't blame people for watching stupid things and just stupid funny things. Comedy podcasts. Bad Friends is pretty good. It's a hit or miss with those. It's like sometimes. I feel like I don't know. It's like death can be everywhere. The death of a podcast. Tim Dillon. He's had some okay ones since Ben's left, but the spirit of the Tim Dillon show kind of went with him. But for a while there, when he's had some guests on, he's funny at times, but sort of the magic of how funny he was when it was just him talking into a microphone, going off about it. Didn't have to be current news, some stuff was just I don't know, maybe he quit the drugs, maybe that was it. Maybe it's taken a while for the drugs to get out of his system for now. But there's a new channel that's out. It's like a compilation channel of Tim Dillon rants. Those are the best because it compiles a lot of funny stuff all into one thing, so you don't have to go searching through different podcasts and stuff, but I forget what it's called. Unlimited or Ultimate Tim Dillon Rants. And they're like numbered: Ultimate Tim Dillon Rants, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. I don't know if there's anything after 6. I'm not sure, but some of those are funny. Look up Michael Heiser. Even if you're not a religious person, Christian, or anything like that, this man was a scholar. He's a doctor of ancient languages, and really studied well for different literature that kind of expands upon. He made a comment once that just because people were asking him, is the Book of Enoch kind of is it canonized? Should it be canonized? Is it inspired word of God like the rest of it? and he said, just because a book is not an inspired word of God, like breathed into the writer, does not mean that it shouldn't be read and learned. Sorry, I just saw this red glowing light through the trees across the street. I was trying to figure out if it was a reflection from a car light or something. That was a little weird. It was a little high for, and I know the perspective. Anyways, that was interesting. Big red ball of light just floated, disappeared. Saw a UFO, folks. But he was basically, he was saying that whether or not the Book of Enoch is part of the Bible, it was decanonized. And it had to do with the Masoretic texts. And if you want to hear some interesting stuff, he clears up a bunch of things. How there was a some story going around that Constantine, the Council of Nicaea, that they were the ones that were kind of behind the Christian religion, and he clears that up. I think that's the thing. I have no idea. Folks, I'm tired. I don't even know if I'm talking to people. I don't even know if people will be listening to this. Maybe not. I don't care anymore. I'm just talking. But he clears up he has a lecture about the Council of Nicaea, and it's not, Michael Heiser has this like soft, comforting way of speaking that is similar to, but more kind of normal than what's his name? I had his name. Oh, I had his name right on the tip of my tongue. No, he was the guy. He would talk about hallucinogenics and the not Ryan Sickler. That's a podcast guy. He has a really hilarious laugh, but what's his name? He sounded like a mixture of Mr. Rogers and dang, Terrence McKenna. That's his. So Michael Heiser, if you don't know who Terrence McKenna is, look up. He has a lot of really good lectures about things, explaining the guy who created fractals, and which led to the computer program that makes from a line of code. It's how it just creates endless amounts of. It's kind of like that effect. It's where they got. It's pretty much. They applied that theory to make video games have like a open world games. How they were able to make those so big. I forget the guy's name. Look up Terrence McKenna fractal lecture. But Dr. Michael Heiser, he has a more calming or like more normal, like soothing tone than Terrence McKenna. I feel his voice was not saying anything bad about Terrence McKenna. I've listened to him talk hours and hours, but it's a softer tone, easier to listen to. It might be dull to some, but if Michael Heiser's voice is dull to you, then I have a feeling that lectures probably aren't your thing. But he has lots of awesome lectures about the Council of Nicaea, kind of myth busting a lot of things, explaining a lot of awesome stuff. The fact that there was a kind of dual godhead in the Hebrew religion before Jesus was born, and the whole idea of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, kind of three. He explains that really well. So go check out his stuff, because he has done some really important work for understanding the Bible, understanding ancient languages. So yeah, he is no longer with us, but he spent his life um, doing some really important work for God. So that's and for the world. Um, I feel we're gonna need to. Yeah, I feel like being in this generation around TikTok, YouTube, um, Have you heard of Magic Spoon, Ridge Wallet, Blue Chew? Well, we've got something better. It's called Go Get a Life. Try making something with your own two hands. If you can. Can you? When's the last time you doodled or drawed? Huh? When's the last time you drawed? You done did drawed? When's the last time you took some, you felt that felt stuff that's like, not felt, but it's like a foamy construction paper stuff? You can get sheets of that. It's like a big sheet of paper, but it's like a foam, but it's a very thin foam, and then it's like different colored foam. You got green, red, and stuff from like a craft store or Walmart. They got it, maybe, I don't know, Michael's, but that stuff, the foamy stuff that they you can make like ornaments out of and stuff. Not good ornaments. Crappy little ornaments, that you can. It's an ornament. Now, if it's a kid making it, then that's one thing. It has, sentimental value to where it's from. But the thing I'm trying to say is, when's the last time you tried to make something? Huh? Really make something. Really sit down and put your mind to something and actually make something. When's the last time you carried out those? Once you start something, you finish it. When's the last time you finished something you set out to do, craft-wise? I'm not telling you to go get a welding degree and try blacksmithing. I learn alchemy and combine different elements to make gold and every other element out there. But of course, if you were trying to do that, you would first have to summon the demon that is over blacksmithing and alchemy. Alchemy, that's the word. Wouldn't take that long if you had a teacher to show you. All it would really take is dedication and steadfastness. The iron will, the immovable mind, to which is, what are we doing again? The ad, instead of, Blue Chew, Ridge Wallet, or BetterHelp, or what's that other thing? Magic Spoon, keto cereal, whatever. Instead of all those, why don't you make something with your own two hands? Why don't you put that puny pea-sized lump of fleshy, gooey, slimy nubbiness you call a brain to use for once in your pathetic life, and actually do something and carry out something to the end? Instead of just live your pathetic, comedic excuse for a life, and actually do something. Make a mark in this world. So that throughout history and time, like Plato and Arsenio Hall and Galileo. What's the other guy's name? This is to do with the constellations or something. What? Josephus? No, that's the works of Josephus. No, that's Galileo. Was that Pompey? Marco Polo? The Magi? Sam C. and his delectable 4 little midges? Balaam and his donkey. If there were an alternate universe where Balaam rode a goat instead of a donkey, and the goat talked, wouldn't that be a Mandela effect of goodness? My gosh. The universe. It's quite the dilly-dally doozy. Was I doing an ad or something? I'm pooping. Anyways, just support the channel. Do something. Look, folks, I'm not working at McDonald's getting $31 an hour or whatever people on TikTok would like to say they get. If that's true, I'm gonna either quit my current job and go to McDonald's, or keep my current job and work on my days off at McDonald's. Either way, I'm working at McDonald's for some duration of time. You know what I mean? If it's true. Anyways, you gotta... I'm not gonna beg anybody for money. However, I will say, my son's not potty trained yet. There's still some mistakes to be made. He's making good progress. But it's just at that, the awkward in the car times. It's very hard. Very hard. Because you never know. You never know when nature will call. But when it does, you gotta answer. Or at the nighttime. For a boy to wake up and take a tinkle, it's a big thing. It's a big thing for me to wake up and properly use the bathroom. I'm 33 years old, and it's a big deal. I'm about to be 34, so it's a big deal to me when I wake up and properly go to the bathroom and not just stay in my fever dream land of magical wonderment where I watch alternate realities of my past reality where certain people are still alive and things get weird and scary. You know what I'm saying, folks? You have no clue. But if you could if you could step into the mind of Gene and just swim around in the genes, shrink down to the small size of a molecule's molecule, of a single-celled organism, and swim through my genes while in a gene. while I wear jeans. Okay, I'd kind of like to bring up something that I've noticed. I'm gifted blue jeans all the time. I'm 6'3", 2 something, 210, 212, one of those. So, Costco brand blue jeans. They look nice. I go to wear them. For the length to be proper, they feel I should be fat. I don't know what that's about. But it's a little annoying. And I've been told that my sitting down, I don't really look like I'm the same height as other people, but when I stand up, my legs are just long. So I don't know what this problem is. Kirkland brand jeans, they're made for fat farmers or something. I don't know. Like, probably when I was 12, I could have wore those. Not now. I'm not saying I'm thin or anything. It's just I can't hold them up. And my lack of buttock. I'm trying to get to where I can go to the gym or do workouts I need to grow my butt. Not for any kind of reasons of I want women to look at my butt. No, I have no butt. And it makes it to where it can't hold up my jeans. So I need to need a workout plan to build the buttock, sides, bottom, upper, just get it full. I want it full. I want some just slight junk in the trunk, not a whole bicycle, but just maybe like a duffel bag. Maybe not a duffel bag, maybe like one of those suitcases you take with you to the airport when you're flying somewhere. You know, one of those, I don't know what those are called, but baggage, bags, luggage. I just want some luggage back there, only for the sole purpose to keep my pants up. Alright? Because normally with the belt I have, it does pretty good. Does pretty good. But for the most part, when I put on the Kirkland, there's no wearing them. Because I'm not filling them out. I got Hank Hill bottom. If you don't know what that means, look it up, Google it. Hank Hill's butt. I'm gaining, because of exercising through work, I'm gaining slight a bit of just like a little plump, just a little plump, not quite yet a plump, without the P. It's missing the P. Just a plum, just a slight little, just like a half a peach. You know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Do you do you get what I'm saying? You nasty, crazy, filthy, disgusting human beings out there. I'm just kidding. Please subscribe. Send me money. On a serious note, I am going to be having I want to sell some shirts, but I also want to give away free bracelets. once I find the rope that I want to use, it's in my house somewhere. I have it. It's somewhere here. And I hope it wasn't thrown away. I just need to find it. I have a lot of stuff to go through, so that's so. I just pretty soon we're going to be getting the grandma poop spoon, granny poop spoon, and I'm thinking about just having a serving spoon with some blood and brown in places. I'm not sure. I'd like to draw it, but in paint. I don't know. I kind of want to get a friend to commission him to do it because he's really good painting. Way better at both drawing and painting than I. But so if I could get him to paint a really good serving spoon with some poo and blood on it. Again, if you want to find out the origins of the poop spoon story, go to the or was it on this? Yeah, I already talked about it. You know what? Never mind. I just need sleep. Go listen to Terrence McKenna, Dr. Michael Heiser. Both passed. The late Terrence McKenna and the late Dr. Michael Heiser. They both talk about some very interesting things. Although anybody listening to this may not be nerdy enough to actually enjoy or appreciate anything being said, but you know what? You gotta try. Give it a try. And what the heck? Go listen to Irvine Finkel. Look him up. He's a wizard that the British Museum of London has working as the curator to. I'm not sure if he does that anymore. I'm not even sure if he's still alive. He was pretty. The videos I saw of him on YouTube might have been old by the time I saw them, so I'm not sure. Anyways, just look him up. Check him out. It may sound boring at first, but trust me, keep with it. All of these guys are really, really interesting people to listen to. A lot of information that's important. And yeah, I'm still pooping. I'm gonna wipe now.